Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Love stories in the hot seat.
Very good evening and welcome to the Love Talk Show.
Where you can learn intelligent love.
Intelligent love. That's what we are going to talk about tonight, Chris.
Yeah, they are here.
After this amazing testimony.
Oh, that's true.
Did you see the story of Camilla?
Yes, what a
You see,
amazing testimony.
that's exactly what we are talking about. When we speak about coming and attending the love therapy seminars,
Yes.
it's just for you just to get knowledge about love life, or to have a book in your hands and start just making notes. Now that's very interesting. If you grab the opportunity, as Camilla did, you can also be healed from the past wounds in your love life. Talk about wounds and healing. That's exactly what we are going to speak about in this love therapy now this Thursday. Is the night to heal from infidelity. And Chris, we could see clearly through the story of Camille.
Yes.
Imagine, because I was the one interviewing her when she was recording her testimony. Her story is a bit complex, but she opened the laptop of her husband
Yeah.
and she found out there a conversation with a woman. That conversation was, look, I'm going to meet you in the nightclub tonight.
Yes. So that's important to notice.
And she went to the nightclub.
And
She fought with the women in the nightclub.
Yeah.
And she was trying to be the woman of his dreams, because she would cook, clean, organize the house. But from that night on, she just went out in the world.
Exactly.
She started going partying, nightclub, cheating on him as well, until God, called her and gave her a chance. God is offering you this chance as well. Be connected with us in the Being Spy Special, in this journey to Jordan River. Your life is going to be completely transformed. I want to know now, I'm going to show, we have read it here, the photo of the hand. Because I'm not going to reveal, maybe you're curious to find out who is the couple. Someone said here, let me see, Wood Green, Full Power, Bibi. Hello, Bibi. Bettina from Croydon, our love team. Shireen Hyman, I believe. Good evening, Pastor Da Silva and Mrs. Da Silva. Oh, how she knows our surnames. You put our surnames there, dear?
Love Lincolnshire.
I think you do. She knows our surname.
That's good.
Yes, it's Da Silva.
Good
That's
evening
correct.
to
You
all
wrote
of you.
properly, yeah.
Good evening.
Alex, good evening. Is Monica Smart? His wife,
Gabi.
I believe, is he watching from Guyana. Gabi, Jovian from Woolwich. Good evening. Lydia from Woolwich as well. Viola from Lozelles. Ryan from Croydon, or Riam from Croydon.
17.
Look at the hand. Show the hand there, G. Look, I have to tell you that only 3 people among so many, they could guess right who that hand belongs.
And they are here.
Which couple is that? This couple is here, just beside
Here in
me.
the studio with us.
They are very dear couple for us.
Yes, they are.
They are very lovely couple. This is our brother and sister that we met
Definitely.
here in the work of God in
Yes,
UK.
yes, it is.
Yeah,
They
if you
are,
see
they
both
are.
of us walking on the street, you're gonna see that we are brothers.
Yes,
You
we
can
are.
tell that from far away.
Lovely couple.
Definitely. We are gonna review who they are in just few minutes. Before that, I'm gonna give a chance, Chris. Usually I don't do that, because today that's when we draw the prize.
That's true. But you're gonna give a chance.
I'm gonna give a chance. As we are playing this
I don't know.
short video for someone who attended the love therapy last week, you still get a chance to guess who the couple, or who is the couple that is here with us.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Let's give it a chance.
So let's see.
Edir, play the video.
What would you say your love life was like before you ever started attending the love therapy seminars?
I would say that my love life was a myth. So I thought it was one thing and it was completely not. So it was very, very fake, very much full of appearance, very much full of pretending to be something. And it was actually quite a lot of a pain. Yeah, I would describe it as a fake, hurtful situation.
And since you started attending, how has that changed, or what's different now about your love life?
I guess the thing that's different now is that I have a foundation and I understand that love life is not something that's just about my feelings. Before, that's how I saw it, hence why things were very fake, because I was trying to do things based on my feelings. Now I understand love life as God intends it to be. So I think what's different now is how I see love life, how I approach it, and my understanding of what God actually meant when he wanted a man and a woman to be together is completely different.
And what would you say has been the highlight in terms of how you have changed?
Just to challenge my mind, I did a lot of things a lot of wrong ways. I had a lot of myths and wrong ideas. And for my mind to be renewed, I think has been the most important thing, to understand that there's a completely different way of doing things that's completely opposed to the world's way. And it's just so much better, really.
Have you attended any of the love therapy events, such as the marriage celebration, singles hour, love walk, anything sort?
Yes. I did go to the love walk, not the last one, but the one before. Singles hour again, based on where I was, I would be there.
And what would you say these events bring? What kind of opportunities do they give? Do you think that they're advisable for people to attend, or only for this category of people?
No, I think they're advisable for everyone to attend. I think, things like the love walk or the singles hour, obviously they have their certain focuses, but to be in an environment that is of faith, an environment that is completely different to what the world offers, and to challenge yourself, to not get stuck in your routine, your way of doing things. It can only bring good to us because we only change with challenge, with exposing ourselves to things that are new. So I think they bring a lot of exciting opportunities and faith in action, really. That's what they are.
And what would you say to somebody that has never attended the love therapy seminar before?
I think it's completely worth the time and the effort to be here. I'm coming from work, but somehow I have energy because I knew I was coming here. So I think it's something that once you start investing, you will see just how invaluable and precious it really is.
Love stories in the hot seat.
Love story in the hot seat. We are live. So from now on, no more guessing, okay? No more guessing.
Nope.
Some people got right.
Time's up.
So are you ready? We are going to reveal who is this couple, or who this couple is. Please, dear, reveal.
Now is the
Ta-da-dam.
time.
Show who this couple is now. Pastor David Nzuruba and Matilda. Yeah. Good evening. So this is a very special night in this love story, because I know Pastor David Nzuruba. Actually, I was telling him just on way up to the studio that he did the love story with me.
Yeah.
When I just
Yeah.
got in the country.
Yes.
He was the host of the program
Yeah.
doing the interview.
Yes.
And now we just switch sides.
So sorry, is that it? No,
Yeah.
no, see.
But we're gonna find out, Pastor David Nzuruba, just a little bit more about the story of both of you, because I never really asked it.
Okay.
So the first question, I want to start with you,
Okay, no problem.
okay?
Yeah.
Tell me how you get to know Matilda.
Okay.
You are her pastor, or you just... I want you to tell
Saw
me.
someone
You saw her.
Throw some sparkling.
How it was.
So, good evening again, Pastor. Good evening, Miss Christiani. So with Matilda, actually, it was we had a mutual friend. That's how it happened. So I was doing IntelliMen with the auxiliary pastor in her branch at the time.
Okay.
So we were always talking because we were discussing our tasks, and because we're both auxiliary pastors, we're talking about the youth group, ideas that we'd have, things of God, etc. And sometimes he would mention about some of the youths in the church and the assistants and who would be helping him, and he would always mention about this assistant that was very helpful in the church,
Oh.
but like a warrior,
Wow.
a soldier. You know?
Connections, people,
so
you see.
he was always throwing in these comments. I didn't know whether he was trying to sow something there, because at that time, I didn't really want to think about my love life at that particular moment. But he would always mention, oh, this assistant, and she's helping here. She's like this. She's like a UBI in our branch. She's always active, ready to do everything, ready to sacrifice, ready to help the souls. And so I started to ask more questions. So, okay, and how old is she, and like like where's she from, etc., etc. And from that, I started to gauge a little bit of an interest.
You got it curious.
I got curious. I wanted to find out a bit more. So that's how I got to know about Matilda.
But finding out more about her, that's the point. From the moment you start looking more, just to observe more Matilda. Let me ask a question, Pastor David. Because I remember the time that I was there where you were here.
Yes.
I want to know how long you took to really approach her. How many years was the observation?
No,
Did you talk?
It wasn't too long, because we had some encounters actually. So I remember, because my
this mutual friend,
the mutual friend, he told me that she had a very strong testimony, actually, of the campaign. Actually, a few testimonies, not just one. So she was willing to go to the altar and see the power of God. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk to my pastor so she can come and give her testimony in the church. Right? So come and give the testimony in church. Let's see the testimony. Right? But at that time, I was just observing. I wanted to see. So she came to the church. She gave her testimony. And I saw that, wow, the way she passed her story and what she did and how she overcame. And even when she was there, she didn't just come to give her testimony. She even came to assist as well. She helped to speak to some of the people after the service, and I was just observing. So I think it wasn't very long after that, maybe a few weeks or maybe a couple of months.
Okay.
And then we were already talking.
Wow.
But you didn't like me at first. Like, you didn't like the...
Yeah, that's the question.
I was trying not to mention that.
No. You have to.
Matilda, tell us now the secrets about the Pastor
I want
David
to know
Nzuruba.
if Matilda knew about the past, or
Go ahead,
she
you
got
can ask her.
interesting on him.
It's
How
true.
was it?
You know what he's saying? Like, okay, he heard about me. However, when he first saw me, like physically, he was like, I'm not sure. He wasn't very attracted. Do you see what I mean? He'd heard and he was willing to like talk, but in terms of like physically, we didn't like each other.
Okay, because both of you, let's say, have different perspective of
your
future husband or wife.
100%.
In terms of physical
That's the truth.
characteristics.
Matilda didn't look like the person I had imagined.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She didn't. So.
And vice versa, because the same thing, I'd hear about him. Oh, there's this assistant pastor and everything, like, he's a man of God, but I wasn't really interested. But the thing is, my pastor at the time and different people, they'll be like, this assistant pastor, you guys are the same age, you have similar like backgrounds, etc. Why don't you try? But when I first saw him, I said, no, I don't want either.
So was not love at the first sight.
Definitely not.
So different from Pastor Maurice and
Audrey.
Because Maurice saw her photo in the video, said, that's the wife I'm going to marry one day.
Oh, wow. Powerful.
So it was not like that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But that's interesting, Pastor David, and also Matilda, because people, they always imagine the future husband or wife, the future partner, in a certain way, but they are looking always for physical characteristics, which fades away as time passes.
Definitely.
But what remains is what you have inside of you. That's what makes her more attractive towards you, and vice versa.
Yes, because appearance can, for example, by we getting to know the person, the appearance it comes at the end. Because after we start to get to know, the person starts to, we start to notice the eyes, and then we start to notice, things change.
That's exactly what happened. There were other times that I would, because she was working in the offices of the church at the time. And so there were certain things I would have to deal with the youths, and I would have to go
He'd always come to my department.
Come to the
I will
department.
go
And he
to
was
the
pretending like he came to give in. Oh, I came to give you these consent forms, but
It was not really a consent form.
So sometimes I would go to the department and I would see, and then I would look at her, and then okay, because at first, like Matilda was saying, there wasn't that immediate wow attraction. But then as we started to have more encounters, talking to each other, and we eventually started to talk, it's just like Miss Christiani was saying. Then the attraction really developed. Like I started to see her completely different. It's like my eyes open.
was revealed.
Exactly, Pastor. That's how it was.
Your eyes were open. But tell me, so the first conversation that both of you had, when you say, look, we're gonna talk to each other.
Yes.
Let me tell you this: how long it lasts? The first conversation.
Oh, do you remember?
it was in Starbucks.
We went because we had it. We were.
No, it was my lunch break.
Yeah, we
And
went to Starbucks. We went to a coffee
break,
shop.
so 30 minutes.
Not long. Went to coffee
It
shop.
wasn't long, but I remember, Pastor, that first 30 minutes, he said, what do you say? I'm going to marry you. Something
No,
like
it was
No, you said, if you don't believe, I believe. Something like that. Something like that.
What is it? What is this conversation? Tell about that.
So
you told her I'm gonna marry you.
Put a stamp there.
Something like that. You said
It must have been.
Oh, those who are watching us. Pastor David Nzuruba was very bold. He told Matilda in the face, I'm gonna marry you. Tell
I
them
remember.
how
So we met in the helpline. I remember.
Yeah.
And we were gonna go out to Starbucks, and then as soon as we got outside the door, I looked at her and I said, "Well, look, even if you don't believe, I believe. I believe for the both of us." So
use Bishop Macedo's word.
Yeah,
For his story. That's what Bishop told her.
Mrs. Esther as well. I said, I believe. I genuinely did. I genuinely believed that this was God putting us together. And so it after a few weeks and months, you could just see it just flowed. It was him. It was God.
It was natural. The conversation was flowing. What about Matilda? What you heard that? What did you thought?
I thought it was crazy. I was just like, you don't really know me very well or anything like that, but you said you believe. And I said, amen. But there was a part of me that was like, wow, I like this faith. This is different, because he knew what he wanted, and he was just like, that's it, I believe. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I thought he was crazy, but a good crazy.
In a good sense.
In a good sense, exactly.
Yeah, you like his attitude.
Exactly. I like the
he took
boldness.
action, the boldness. But that sometimes, always Chris says that, sometimes we try to pass, even I remember the program that we did together, the fact that many people, they lack to take action.
Yeah. That's true.
Or to speak, to approach, to say something. There is no right or wrong,
Exactly.
but they need to say something. Otherwise, never find out what really was happening.
It goes unnoticed, because if a person at least approach someone, like, I'm interested, do you want to grab a cup of coffee with me somewhere? If the person say no, but that moment they were even notice you. So from that moment on, the person will say, okay, I said no, but let me watch this person from afar. This can start something.
There are many testimonies like that of people who initially they were rejected, but eventually they were accepted.
Exactly.
So I know for the short time that I know both of you, that the personality of both of you is a kind different.
Very different.
Yes, that's very true, Pastor.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So it seems like that Pastor David Nzuruba is kind of more serious. But not really if you get to know him. I think it's just his face. Don't be deceived with those from Hackney. It's just his face, I think, Matilda. He looks like he's a very serious man, like him. Always serious, like that. But in reality, it's not really like that.
No. When you get to know him, you see a different side. His funny side, but initially you're very right, Pastor. When people first meet him, they're like, "Oh wow, Pastor's very serious." But then you start to, and then you see, okay, he's different.
He's serious, but not that serious. But the personality was different. For example, I believe because I know a bit of your story, of your parents, your father, because you married someone important.
Yeah, clearly, Pastor. clearly.
Her father, there is some power there in
Yeah.
Nigeria.
Daughter of an ambassador, right?
Some power there in the country. But I believe you never had really a figure as a father.
Yes.
So you didn't know what to expect really as a man.
Exactly.
So when you saw David, you saw a different thing.
Exactly. Because when my perception of men was not good.
Yeah.
So when I saw him and I saw his attitude, his character, I was like, okay, this is different. Because growing up, I always thought like when it comes to love life and things like this, I had to be, protect myself because of everything that I'd seen growing up.
Yeah.
But then when I met him, he was completely different. And initially, I think with you, I used to be a bit defensive, isn't it?
Yes, a little bit.
I used to be defensive, like he would try to talk and I'll be like, because I was still trying to.
You're not
To
giving
understand.
too much information.
Exactly. But with time, I saw that he was different and he was really a man of God. So I opened up and.
What about you, Pastor David? You were very understanding
Yes.
when you saw that she had this kind of setbacks, I would say.
Yes.
This kind of reaction and say, okay, something's happening here.
Yes.
So what will you do? Will you persevere? Will you keep on talking? Will you
Yeah.
try to understand? What will you do?
I think it was a matter, like you said, a matter of perseverance and trying to work on the relationship. I think the fact that I had believed in it already.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned.
I believed in it. So sometimes even during our talking phase, because from the time that we first started talking to the marriage was 2 years. About 2 years. So we spoke for about 6 months and then we dated for about 18. And there were times, Pastor, where sometimes maybe we would have a disagreement
Yeah.
about something. And then in my head, I would be like, Lord, I would even pray, I say, God, if she's not the one, remove her from my life like this. But every single time I would make a prayer like that, I knew that God was saying, no, this is the one. She is the one. So you need to work out whatever issue you have. You need to speak. There was even a time that Bishop James, he saw us, right? Because after one love therapy, we were sitting down and we looked very upset with each other.
With each other,
And we were there, and Bishop came to us and he said, what's the problem? And then we were just kind of like, Bishop, and he goes, yeah, this is it. Solve the problem. And then,
Solve the problem.
Yeah,
And then he walked away.
And then he walked away. So, but it was good because it wasn't perfect, everything, but we could see that the hand of God was there because God was always directing us.
Yeah. One thing I think is important, and Matilda, Pastor David and Chris, that people, there is no such thing as a perfection. You see, people are different. Disagreements within a relationship is normal. People have different opinions, perceptions. Of course, for both of you was a new thing as well.
Yes.
Because imagine, you have given your life to God in a very young age, Pastor David. Matilda, maybe not that young as yourself, but also young. She have no idea what a godly relationship would be about.
Yes.
A true relationship was about. And you start to get to know really how I'm going to solve this problem. No one ever taught me how.
Exactly.
That's the Holy Spirit who advises, and also attended the love therapy. That's one of the reasons you are sit there learning the lessons from the love therapy.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, in a way, okay, I need to practice this. I need to put into practice in my life.
Yeah, so
Well,
then Pastor managed to knock that stone,
Yes.
and break that stone.
Because you
heart,
always
because
believe in this relationship.
Yes.
And that's something important.
Yeah,
To persevere, to believe. Because we have been married now for how long, Pastor?
7 years.
So 7 years.
7
7 years married. It's a good time. It's not really a long time. Not yet.
Not yet.
But if Lord Jesus not come back soon, it's going to be long. Long and more serving God forever. That's
Amen.
our desire.
Amen.
But I want to ask you, and after that, Matilda, because our time here in the love story, always get a specific point
Okay.
Yes.
that we can advise those who are watching us. And I will start with you, and after we can go to Matilda. There is a particular moment within your marriage. Now that you overcome, you really like each other, you decide to be married, start living together. there was particular something, a challenge that you face in these 7 years, a moment that was very hard for you. And what did you do about that? That you could advise this person who is watching us. A moment that you said, well, this moment here was hard.
Yeah.
I can think of one.
Can you?
Yeah, but it is going to be her afterwards. For your perspective, because women have different perspective.
Yes.
Maybe that was hard for her.
I think we've been through to not that many branches in church.
Yeah.
But there's one particular branch that we're working in. We were really working hard to try and change the situation. And it wasn't easy. So there was a lot of kind of resistance, and we really were fighting with God to really do something there, which I knew that He wanted to do. And sometimes when things are like that, it can become very frustrating when you're not seeing the results that you want to see straight away. And if you're not in spirit, you can often start to kind of like get a bit frustrated with yourself, and then that leads you to be frustrated with your wife as well, and you start having unnecessary disagreements, and etc., etc. So I think that particular time was not easy, but it was just understanding that if we're going to overcome the situation that was happening on the outside, we had to be a team together on the inside. We had to be. Like, if we unite our faith and we start to fight really together, not just myself or not just herself, then that's how we're going to overcome. So I think that was a lesson that I learned. That you don't, when things are tough, very tough, that's when you have to be even more united. That's when you have to do purposes together. That's when you have to pray together. That's when you have to fight harder together. Because if you don't, the situation that's happening on the outside is going to start to affect here, and that's going to be a problem. So that I could say was the case for me.
That's very good, because obviously people is watching us, they have different type of frustrations. Life can get tough, work-wise, financially speaking. Problems start piling up all the time, and at the end of the day, you want to solve that matter if you are a team.
Yes, exactly.
If your relationship with God is strong, but you also need to be a team with the person that you are living with. And then you'll be able to solve that problem. Thank you, Pastor David.
No.
What about you, Matilda?
Yeah, I remember this. I was going to mention this particular situation in that branch because it was very challenging, like you said, and I could see how the situation was affecting him. As a pastor, as a husband, everything was really like getting to him, and that was when I really understood the importance of prayer as a wife, because you can do things physically, but if you're not praying, if you're not being a supportive wife in that respect, then you're just going to become like, because you start to say things that you shouldn't say, and without knowing, say things to the person is already feeling heavy.
Yeah.
And then as a wife, that's when I really learned. It's like I really matured in my mind how to be, how to act. Because yes, you work as a team, but sometimes the support that you give, it might not be visible.
Yeah.
But it's what you do behind closed doors, the prayers, the fasting, the sacrifices. It's like in that place, I really, really matured to this. So instead of fighting, against each other, we started to work together like properly for the first time, because it's like we really understood that if we allow external things inside of our marriage, then nothing else is going to work. Like, we have to be strong together first to be able to help other people. And I really understood that the secret, for me anyway, as a wife at that time, the secret was really, really depending on God through prayer. And I learned this, I understood this in that particular time.
Yeah, it's the moment that I used to say to people, especially to wives sometimes, that men and women, they react different to situations. And even depend of the man, because the majority of the men, they seems to shut down.
Yeah.
So they keep things inside. It's like every emotion, everything, his feelings and the frustrations, he tried to keep everything in. So knowing a little bit David, so I believe David is the person that he keeps until the point that he can't keep anymore, and then he blows.
I think you.
I think just a little bit, because he will not just react straight away. He's gonna keep it, try to solve it. And as a wife, as the majority of the wife, they always to say, there is a time you need to stop speaking and start praying.
Yeah.
Because there is no words that will make a difference.
Yes.
Whatever you say doesn't really is gonna make any
Reach
difference.
there, no.
But if you speak to God, use your faith as you are doing, working together, you know, in doing purpose of faith. As Bishop spoke today in the program as well, together with Pastor David Nzuruba, you can see the clear results that God is there with you. And every situation is temporary.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So even in that branch or other branch in the future or other places or other countries, because the work of God is like this. Today you are here, tomorrow you can be another country, tomorrow you can be another church, another
Our
place.
life is like this.
Our life is like wherever the wind blows, we go.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like this. We are only able to deal with certain situations if we are connected with God.
Exactly.
Our relationship with God has to be good, and our relationship with your wife has to be good as well.
Exactly.
But our time is very short. Now it's just
Yeah.
11:03.
past.
So we need to still draw the prize because
Yes.
we need to find out
Let's
who
see
is
who
going
is
to
going
be the
to
winner
win.
of the 4 Thoughts of Jesus book. Just before we draw it, let's draw the prize first.
Yes.
Yeah, let's draw the prize. Let's see. We're
Who
going
is
to do
going
it live now. Are you ready? Those who got right.
Are you ready there?
Are you ready? Are ready? We are ready, dear. Yeah?
Yes.
So let's draw the prize now. Let's see who is going to be the winner
Let's
of
see.
the
Winner
book.
is
Fernanda Neves from Brixton.
You are the winner.
So tomorrow, Fernanda, you can come to collect your book. You can come to collect your book with my wife
Yes.
to the love therapy. Okay? Come and collect your book. Well done. For those who got right, maybe next time, next Wednesday,
Yeah.
you'll be able to do that. But just for us to end the program,
Yes.
Pastor David Nzuruba and also Matilda. You know, I want you, Pastor David Nzuruba, because when I say you or Matilda, both of you have been very long here in this country. You were born here, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
Pastor David.
Yes, was
You are not necessarily born here, but you have
I
been
came
here
when
for
I was-
many years
yeah.
as well. You
Yeah.
came here when a child?
Yeah, I
or
was
you're
12.
12
Yeah.
years old. So you know pretty much what's going on with people's mind. For example, people that we have in the church, because you have been in the church
Yes.
as well for many years.
Yes.
So you know what people thinks, and I want you to advise the men out there
Yeah.
who is watching our program. Perhaps the ones that they are looking for a relationship, that up to this point they have taken no action.
Yeah.
They may like someone, they may observe someone, or they may be having ideas in their mind about someone.
Yes.
Imagine the ideal person they are going to find.
Yes.
But maybe they are just looking to appearance and not really allowing God to work. So
Yeah.
I'll give that to you. You can speak to that camera,
Yeah,
Pastor David, and tell them.
Definitely. One thing I would say to the men is don't focus on appearance. Of course, appearance of the person that you're going to marry will always be important. You need to be attracted to the person, as you've always heard. But if you are somebody you're very shallow in the fact that you only want to marry a model, you only want to marry someone who looks like this, who looks like that, so that you can show to people that this is the person you're with, you're never going to find the woman of God that God has for you. You'll never. And regarding the confidence thing, Pastor, I'd say a man's confidence, it should come from the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
It should come from his relationship with God. We have the example of Bishop Macedo.
Yeah.
Where does his strength and
The
confidence come
boldness,
from?
yeah.
The boldness. It comes from the relationship that he has with God. God himself gives that to him. And that's like any man. And sometimes the men of the church, Pastor, they're not bold because they're not bold with their relationship with God. But if they were to invest more in that, become strong, then they'll be bold to approach the woman, and the woman will even be impressed with the level of audacity that they have. And that's exactly what the women of the church are looking for. So you men, be a man, right? Be a man first with God, a man of God. But then be a man to do what you have to do and approach the person that you're interested in. That's what I'd say.
Excellent, Pastor David. Excellent. Yeah, I agree with you. I have no comments to make on it. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
And becoming attractive, as I said, now for you, there is no other woman more beautiful than Matilda.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
at all.
That's your precious.
Exactly.
You hold on. That's why you told her that I'm gonna marry you. I have no doubts. That's true. Because you discover really what makes a difference
Yes.
at the end of the day. Matilda, now you to the women out there.
So to the women, I would say invest in yourself, because nowadays a lot of women, they are looking for a marriage, a relationship, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But more often than not, women, they don't invest in themselves, in the inner issues that they have, in the baggages that are there. So they come from like a childhood, a broken home, but they don't resolve these things. And they think, okay, if I get married, then I'm going to be fixed. But what sometimes they don't understand is that they first need to fix themselves, fix their relationship with God, be a woman of prayer. And then when the right person comes, you will know, and you will be a blessing to him in every area of his life, so that when he's going through problems, difficult situations, you would know what to say. You're not just going to be like a Barbie doll. You're going to be the woman of God that he needs you to be. And for that, you need to invest in yourself, but most importantly, in your relationship with God.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Well, it was a pleasure
Yes,
to be with
Pleasure.
you, Pastor
Both.
David
Pleasure's
and
all ours,
Matilda.
Pastor.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure.
And as we are saying, Chris, wherever you go, when you have God, you have a family.
Yes.
You see, we never, if it wasn't for God, for example, we never would meet each other.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit always prepare
Yeah.
the right moment for
I
everything.
just remember watching Matilda with the VYG videos and things like this from afar.
Oh, yeah, she told me. Yeah,
She
yeah.
used to.
She used
Okay.
to watch.
Yeah, I never really
Yeah.
So we
saw
don't-
David
No,
before.
no.
Not before I'm in the country.
Yeah, but they're Pastor David.
But the thing is, the first day I got here, I already spoke to him.
Yeah.
I speak to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, even without knowing them. But I would like to thank both of you
Yeah, thank
and
you.
to everyone who is watching us.
Yes.
So put into practice what you have learned here tonight. The love story in the hot seat. Put into practice what Pastor David says, what Mrs. Matilda said. And I'm sure that you can have a blessed relationship as well.
Yes.
We're going to leave you with a video to speak about the marriage celebration next year in Kilburn Branch. And tomorrow, remember, tomorrow is the program. You need to talk to us. We want to hear from you what you have learned in the love therapy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Registration for the Marriage Celebration 2025 is now open. Don't miss out. If you are engaged and ready to make your union official, or if you are already living with your partner and wish to formalize your commitment, register your interest by sending an email to love@uckg.org. The marriage celebration offers a unique opportunity to strengthen the bond of love with your partner. You will receive blessings, guidance, and support to build a solid, harmonious relationship rooted in the Word of God. This special ceremony will include couples marrying at the altar, along with blessings and encouragement for everyone present. For those already married, it is a wonderful chance to rekindle the flame of love. Bring your written vows and join us in this beautiful celebration. Mark your calendar and make sure to not miss this opportunity to strengthen your relationship. The marriage celebration taking place during the Love Therapy Seminar on Thursday, 1st May at 8 p.m, especially at the Kilburn Church, 234 Kilburn High Road, London NW6 4JP. For more information, email love@uckg.org. We look forward to seeing you at this unforgettable celebration. Marriage celebration, strengthening relationships, blessing lives.